What is happening, Retro Freaks? If you have been around the GOTG neighborhood for a while, you know we don't do a lot of pickup videos unless there's something we really need to talk about.
Yeah.
And there's some bangers. There's not a ton of stuff, but there are some bangers and gaming and some movie stuff and peripherals.
Yeah, which is super cool. There is some holy grails that we have picked up.
Yeah.
If you follow us on social media, you know what those are. Or if you've been following our videos where we've been hunting for these holy grails, we picked them up. But we don't want to jump the shark, you know? We got to start with something that's not a holy grail.
Yeah.
But something that's really cool because we love the series. And this is just like fits in the series and it's so cool.
I'm just going to do them both at one time. House of the Dead Overkill.
Yes.
There's a promotional comic book starring Varla Guns and Isaac Washington. It's really cool. It was a gift from Captain Algebra. He got this, I think, in like a box of stuff from his brother. And he just like sent us a picture right away, and I was trying to give him something for it, and he's just kind of like, no, dude, just like,
it's
whatever.
So minty, dude, and it's so freaking cool.
It is.
Because I just love everything House of the Dead, and like, oh my god.
And we'll get some B-roll, but it's black and white, except for the blood.
Which is badass.
Reminds me of Mad World on the Wii a little bit. Yeah. With that, got us going down a rabbit hole, so thank you so much, Captain, for that. Much appreciated. But then we were like, what other promo stuff is there?
A lot.
For House of the Dead. We got this, had it imported from Europe. I don't think it was released in the US, but a House of the Dead Overkill VHS box. But it's not a VHS tape. Oh no, you pop it open, it wants you to think it is. And you get a postcard when you open it.
It looks like a tape.
Yeah, House of the Dead Overkill. And on the back, it's actually a postcard, and it looks like it's, handwritten.
Covered in zombie blood.
Yeah. And then, in the midst of that, is like a letter. It looks like a letter, but it's not. It's like a air shrunken down House of the Dead Overkill promotional t-shirt.
I want to open it to see it, but I don't want to open it.
I want to so bad, but I gotta just leave it how it is.
Because it's so cool.
There's not much lore out there about this game.
No.
And a lot of hardcore House of the Dead fans kind of, I think, maybe don't consider it a part, like an offshoot of the series. And we're just weird, and it happens to be one of our favorite games of all time. And so to get those things in the collection was really neat.
Dude, it's so neat. Speaking of gifts, so we got that from Captain Algebra. We got 2 VHS tapes, because we went to Mo Game Con.
Yeah.
We picked some things up there, but we got these from Mega Matt. Wrestling VHS tapes, WrestleMania, Macho Man Hulk Hogan, and then Austin 316 uncensored. So cool. We love wrestling and we love VHS tapes. I will say the weight difference between these two is insane.
Well, let me see.
This one is so heavy.
Yeah, WrestleMania 5 is a huge event, and the reel is completely full. So it's a huge tape. We already had this on VHS, but we did not have the original Coliseum home video version. So to get this, it's really freaking neat.
Sweet, dude.
And Matt, I don't know if you'll see this, if you will or you won't, but if you do, thanks a ton, man. And that's like right in our wheelhouse. We have a ton of wrestling VHS tapes. So
we freaking love wrestling.
In the vein of VHS,
we might as well talk about them.
I got a horror VHS that I picked up out thrifting. Don't Mess with My Sister. I don't know if this is really horror. I guess
hear me?
It's kind of a thriller, weird ass movie, guys. Weird movie, but in all the right ways. Yeah, it's the late 80s. Don't Mess with My Sister. I'm like on my 3rd time watching it and still can't quite figure out if I like it or not, so that probably means I do.
I walked in and he was watching it and I was like, what is this? It was just like, what?
Yeah.
But let's finish off the VHS while we're here. These are so cool.
Probably just go do all 3 kind of at once. All Lane Staley related. But yeah, I had these 2 dubbed. So because Ryan had those back in the day, and so I had them dubbed, but I didn't have the real thing. And so we got the Facelift, the Alice in Chains Nona tapes, and then Mad Season Live at the Moore.
Dude, these are so cool. It's just so cool to see this stuff on VHS, see this footage. And it's kind of sad at the same time because, all the stuff that went down with Lane, but man, he was so good.
Yeah, I will say,
good.
Even though this Facelift Live, it's very short, I know there's probably like 8 songs on it. This is probably the best health and sounding that Lane that I've seen for live footage. He always sounded great. I mean, even in the unplugged stuff where he was not doing the best, he sounded fantastic. But the power and the throttle this guy had during that era, so it's just really fun to see that stuff.
Oh, it's so good. This is a recent edition that we picked up at a local game store. So glad to add this to our Genesis collection. Dinosaurs for Hire.
Yeah.
This game is badass. It's like in that vein of like, what if we did a run and gun with dinosaurs? Like, it's just like this stupid idea, but it's so fun, dude. So much fun. I'm so glad we own this now. hang tap.
Yeah, and I think we maybe turned a few folks onto this game, a couple years ago but we'd only ever played it through emulation. We never owned the physical
and
thing.
And now we freaking have it.
And it's crispy. It's a crispy boy. Let's jump into some of the whoppers, okay? We did that hunting series, it was all kind of one series, but where we were on the quest for Demon's Crest.
Yeah, it was a one-day challenge.
One-day challenge. And so we picked Demon's Crest up at MoGameCon, and it's a crispy copy, and we actually got a pretty good deal from a fan of the channel.
Yeah, which was crazy is we did go out initially looking, like, at the con, but we were selling at the table, and some guy came up and said, I got a copy in my backpack if you want it. So it was brought to us, and then we bought it.
And I think we paid pretty close to market value for it, but it was kind of like that deal, like, we got kind of delivered to our front porch, so we might as well.
Okay, sign me up.
We didn't even have to go anywhere. It was brought to us.
I loved it. I'm not gonna lie, but
You know that his name is Preston?
didn't get it.
No, I just made that up.
We wanted to get it today.
And then we just got this in the mail a couple days ago, or today, or yesterday.
you have the
I
honor.
can't remember. We've been playing the hell out of this. Guys, look at it. Power Blade 2. It's real. You can touch it. Oh my god.
Don't you feel...
I'm scared.
Every time I
know.
hold it, I'm like...
I've never touched an NES game so delicately in my life. But, wow. This game is so much fun. We've been playing it so much, dude. The more I play it, the more I discover more things about it. Like the different suits and shit. Oh,
I mean...
this game is so cool.
The fun thing about both these being grails, right, is there's some games that are just expensive because they're rare. That's a big part of why these games are expensive, but they're great. Like,
Yeah.
Power Blade 2 is seriously, it's one of the best NES games there is.
That's because it was released at the tail end,
Yeah.
you know, so they had perfected NES
But,
games.
yeah, the way, I mean, you brought up the suits. There is a, I think a lot of people, if you see footage of the game, you would probably maybe think more Shatterhand, Batman NES style, but keep an eye on how he jumps. The way he jumps and the different power-ups and stuff remind me a lot of Mega Man.
Yes.
He
'Cause you
jumps
have-
very much. You know how he's got like that little like.
Well, and
thing to
also,
him?
if you like lightly tap it, he jumps small, but then if you hold it, he jumps higher.
Yeah.
So there's really cool depth in this game, and then when you die, you start over, so you're just really freaking learning the game.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Pretty minty copy. There's a little tiny lifting on the label, kind of on the spine, but it's ever so slight. Like this, and when you actually look at the label, there's some like indentations a little bit, but nothing tore. But yeah, it's a pretty mint copy. I cannot complain.
This has been a holy grail that we've been wanting for so long, and it's just like so crazy that it's like
It's here.
tangible, dude. Freaking insane. And then we got some Switch games. These are still sealed. These were strictly limited games, so we bought these a long time ago. They finally showed up. Turrican Anthology Volumes 1 and 2.
Yeah.
These are just sweet anthologies, like Turrican, Turrican 2, Super Turrican Director's Cut, Mega Turrican, Turrican 3. So many Turrican games. It's just badass.
And we love these, I don't own any of the Turrican games in physical form on the old school consoles. And I'm not saying that these would make me not want to get those. But I love these type of things when we're on the road.
Oh, dude, the anthologies and the collection.
Yeah,
it's so nice because you can easily throw the Switch in your backpack and then be able to be like, oh, let's try out some Super Turrican. You know?
And those like shooter collections we have. I mean, we play those a
the
lot.
Shigeos.
Yeah.
Oh, those are freaking badass.
So,
dude.
a couple OG Xbox games. First one we got via trade because we were vendors at MoGameCon, and this guy came up to the table and he had a couple things, and Spike Out seemed like it was right up our alley. It was actually in a video.
Yeah, it was in
recently.
that video, our Xbox video. Dude, this game is badass.
Yeah.
It's like a beat 'em up, 3D beat 'em up, but it's arcade style because it's timed and it's fun.
And
dude.
it's got that Sega cheese all over it from this era, like the voice acting and.
Yeah, it's kind of an expensive game, but man, it is fun.
It was a good thing to trade. It was just traded for merchandise or whatever they wanted from our table. So that was really cool. And then we got the Silent Scope Collection, which is called Silent Scope Complete.
This is badass.
Which is one of 2 official light gun games on the OG Xbox, and there's a couple, maybe one game that has light gun parts in it, potentially,
parts.
if you have a light gun.
We're preparing for an episode that you guys will probably figure out what it is. Xbox Collection Bunch.
Yeah.
But with this purchase, we were like, we kind of need an accessory with this.
And so I got one thing to say. Say hello to my little Frank.
Look how big it is. Dude, this is overkill.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Pump action. It's got the scope on it. I don't even know how to shoot a real gun, but this thing makes
you
me
look good,
feel,
dude.
Yeah, see? See?
Dude, practical? I don't know. Badass? Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so cool. When it comes in a box, so you put like this, you could put like the thing on it.
The nozzle.
And then you can put the shoulder strap on.
Yeah.
You can take it off and it's just like a pump shotgun.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
We're gonna have to get it all
It's ridiculous.
calibrated and see if it's, you know, as cool as it looks, because performance is
But
key.
coolness look? Oh, hands down, it looks so cool. What a badass.
I just like picking it up and saying, "Say hello to my Uncle Frank."
Uncle Frank.
Look what you did, you little jerk!
This was also a trade, right?
Yes, at Mo Game Con
and
as well.
this is just so minty. Super Mario Bros. 2 CIB. It's in like damn near perfect condition.
It is.
It looks. We weren't even looking to get this, but then we were like,
No.
all right, let's add it to the collection.
But it was kind of the same deal with that you know, Spike Out. There were some things we took via trade that I ended up selling, right?
Yeah.
But then like Spike Out and this were things that I thought would be really, we deserve to be in our collection, you know, because we have Mario 3 CIB, you got this now CIB, you still need to get the first one, and then this just falls right in line with the type of shit we like to
dude.
play.
It's not that much stuff, but it's
There's
so,
a lot of cool shit. Yeah.
and expensive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Wow.
These type of games, I think these are the type of games that maybe scare people away from retro gaming. Don't let that type of stuff. People say, "Oh, retro gaming, you can't do it in 2022," or "I'm quitting," because they see a game like Power Blade 2 or something that's $800. We just did our NES 10 games we're playing in 2022, and if you really pay attention to the prices in there, we were just talking the other day. You can have a badass NES collection and not pay more than $15 to $20 per game in your collection,
Yeah.
and you'd be loaded.
There's a lot of sweet games that are super cheap. Obviously, there is expensive ones, but you can get a lot of awesome cheap NES games. So,
Yeah.
or you can, like how we did in this series, you can flip your way and basically get it for free.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you got to put work and time into it, but still.
Yeah, the work and time goes into it, and then, you know, it depends on what your passion is. You know, I think there's people that are like, "Oh, I could never afford Power Blade 2, but they go out and buy an Xbox Series X, 2 controllers, and 5 games, and they've spent $1,200
Yeah,
bucks.
that's
you know?
over what you could have got
Yeah.
for it. So,
you know, in Demon's
consider
Crest, I can't remember what we paid for it. It was probably close to 200, 150, something
yeah,
like
something
that. But you think about that, that's like the price of 2 to 3 modern games that are going to go down in value, like, right away.
yeah,
So,
and this is, oh man, Demon's Crest. What a badass game. This is so
Yeah.
freaking cool, dude.
it is. It
so
was,
cool.
It was a good haul.
Yeah.
This last
really
month
good
or
haul.
so, yeah. Solo beer review, because
Yeah.
somebody is in training right now
Yeah.
for Tough Mudder.
I'm doing Sober August. Draugust is
Yeah.
what it's called.
Yeah.
I haven't had any beer all month,
Yeah.
any alcohol all month, which just feels weird.
Which I haven't had as much because I've been trying to, you know, but when we do these sit-down
Be a
episodes,
good
it's
boy.
kind of the thing, you know, to do beer reviews.
So you gotta do it, dude.
I have
I'm
to take
so
one for the
excited. I'm
team.
so excited to have a beer in September. So excited.
Yeah, it's here. It'll be here before you know it. So it was something that wasn't. We're saving stuff for when Robert
Saving good stuff.
can jump back on the wagon or back off the wagon. I don't know.
I'm gonna jump back off to get back on.
Yeah. Sam Adams Tropical Wheat Ale. This is out of the summer sampler pack. The reason I picked it is because it's the only new one in there that maybe folks have.
Is Porch Rocker in that?
Yes, it
Dude,
is.
Porch Rocker I think is the best Sam Adams beer.
It's really good.
So
Yeah.
good.
I don't think it's the best one they've ever had, but it is the
one that
best
they-
one that's readily available.
That's readily available.
They used to have a gingerbread stout around Christmas called Merry Maker.
Yeah, you've talked about
That
that
was
before.
it was
That
hammer,
sounds
but
insane.
Porch Rocker's really good. This is right in line with what you would think would be in a summer sampler pack. It's crisp. It does have a little bit of that. When it says tropical, I'm not pulling a lot of mango out of here, but there is a citrus element to it. It's a pretty watered down wheat beer. I think on a summer day, I don't think you're wanting a real chewy Hefeweizen
No,
or something
yeah.
like that. So this is a decent summer beer.
Well, you also think like Sam Adams is like, you know, introduction to craft beer, I
Yeah,
would say.
yeah.
So
I like it. Ranking it against what's in the sampler pack, I'd say it's middle of the road at best, but it's not a throwaway beer. I don't think you would be pouring these down the drain. I think
No.
if you had people over and was grilling or sitting on the deck,
yeah, I
and,
think people would drink them really
yeah,
easily.
I think
you
if
know?
they were a Bud Light person and you're like, hey, I don't have any of that, but here's some of this, they'd probably be like, that's
They'd
pretty
be-
damn good.
They'd probably be like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll be a Sam for a day.
So not a raving review. I don't even know. Sam Adams, probably like a 5.5 to a 6 out of 10, but it's fine.
Yeah, Sam Adams though.
Yeah,
It sounds like a good on a hot summer day beer.
it is.
But I can't say that right
Yeah,
now. So.
you can't, but you can say coffee on a hot summer day.
Yeah, there's water in here. I'm
Yeah.
faking you guys out.
Anyways, Wanted to show you some pickups and let you guys know, because a lot of people wanted to know, have we sealed the deal on Power Blade 2 and Demon's Crest? We have.
Oh, and other things.
These are the fruits of our loins, our labor.
Yeah, fruits of our loom. Oh, dude, so good.
The hunting has paid off, and it's not the end of garage sale season yet. So there may be another grail or two that we go for before the end of 2022. And when I say the end of 2022, I mean the end of garage sale season, which for us is probably right around middle of Rocktober.
Yeah,
So-
because then that's when it starts getting real cold.
So you guys just know that the clock is ticking. But we haven't retired from hunting yet, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
We'll see you next time, right here on the one and only Gaming Off the Grid. Much love, everybody. What is going on, retro freaks? You
Whoa. Bow, bow.
Son of a bitch, I forgot to mention in the episode the hat that I was rocking is from my hometown. Look at this. Jimmy's Pizza. Best onion rings and shittiest, sloppiest, greasiest double cheeseburgers. And oh, by the way, they made pizza. So anybody that watches the channel from Norwalk, Iowa, what's this do for your nostalgic little bones? Boom!